Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do an entire video talking about what I think are the products that would live in my makeup bag if I still did makeup the way I did 20 years ago, where I had one thing, when it ran out, I replaced it. And when I ran out of that, I replaced it with the same thing again. So thank you for watching. And I had kind of a hard time putting this together, mainly because I have such an extensive collection. If you're curious, I'll link my makeup collection for you here as well as in the description box below. But it's hard to think about what I would actually use on the daily. But I think it all starts with, I wouldn't have a primer. I have a lot of primers and I've done a primer declutter and I continue to get more primers in subscription boxes, but I, on my own, normally don't reach for a primer and I wouldn't have a primer. Another thing I wouldn't have is foundation. I have a ton of foundations, but I'm happiest with my skin and what my skin looks like when I'm wearing just concealer and just where I need it. So under the eyes, corners of my nose, a little redness here on either side of my chin, and then some hyperpigmentation spots around the face. Oop, got ahead of myself. First thing I would have is a color corrector, and I really like this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Vanish. I have the shade 1 Fair. It's the lightest shade she makes. It's a peachy corrector that helps to neutralize the darkness I have right under here, and I find the older I get, the thinner my skin gets underneath my eyes, and I have more of that darkness here, and I do have like a little spot on either side right underneath the outside corner of my eye, so I would definitely use this to counterbalance that. I've gone through so many different concealers from the late 1980s until now when I first started wearing makeup, but this is the one that I love the most. And it's a combination of being able to sheer it out or being able to pack it on. If I want a little bit more coverage, I can get it with this, or if I want it really kind of whisper thin, I can do that as well. This is from Bare Minerals. It's the Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. I like this one a lot. I've talked about it a lot. This would probably be the concealer that I would keep in my makeup bag. Now, when it comes to powders, I would have two. I think that I would have the one that I've been using a lot recently. It's this one from CoverGirl. It's the Advanced Radiance powder, and it's a really nice pressed powder that has a slight radiance to it, but more than anything, I like to use, especially on days like today, just kind of right here to kind of help lift my eyeshadow up a little bit. Press it in the corners of my nose to make sure I'm not getting greasy there. A little bit right here and right between the eyes. I do use this all over the face, but I like this, and I feel like for the price, like a $10, $11 powder from the drugstore, it's really, really beautiful. The one high-end powder I would have on hand is one that I've used for a decade, more than a decade, probably more like 12 years now. And it's from Hourglass, and it's the Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light. This is still my all-time favorite powder. This is beautiful under the eyes. I do use the CoverGirl one, but when I use this one, I use a smaller, more targeted brush like this. And I find that doing this helps to, like if I put concealer over them, it's a little bit tacky. This sets it, but without settling into kind of like the fine crepey lines I'm getting underneath my eyes now that I'm in my mid-40s. It also doesn't settle out here into my crow's feet, and if I use it all over the face, it's a beautiful, very kind of not highlighter, but it gives your face a glow, almost like that glow of perfect, beautiful skin that's not matte, that's not, you know, shiny and dewy, but just somewhere in the middle. Love this, and I've had a compact of this every single day since I discovered it. I think it was 12 years ago. Love this so much. For years, I never used bronzer, and then I fell in love with this one. This is from Bare Minerals. It's the Invisible Bronze in Fair to Light. So it's a very lightweight baked bronzer. It really doesn't look like much at all. Like if I were to, I have to really build it up on the back of my hand here for you to see it. But that's why I love it, because if I use a brush that has like wispy tips on it like this, I can put on bronzer without looking like I have smears of dirt. And being a fair-skinned person, as fair as I am, there are certain bronzers I can't use like the original Hoola. I can't use the Chocolate Soleil. I have to use the Milk Chocolate or the Hoola Light. I have to use one that's specifically aimed towards fair skin. But this one is nice because I can build it and build it and build it and build it. It blends perfectly and it never looks or feels too heavy. This is amazing. Blush was kind of hard because I'd want to have two different types of blush. I'd like to have a cooler toned blush and I'd like to have a warmer toned blush. And my favorite cool toned blush is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Cheek to Chic in the shade Sex on Fire. So you have two shades, kind of a darker mauve in the middle and a really pale pink on the outside, but I usually just swirl them together, and it's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today, so it's enough but not too much. But you can build it if you want, but for somebody with really fair skin, this is the type of cooler toned blush that works well for me without looking too much like clown cheeks. Now my favorite warm tone blush is one that I just discovered this spring, and it's from M Cosmetics. I have not been able to put this down. This is the Heaven's Glow Magic Hour blush. It has a slight sheen to it. There are days that I use this on my cheeks, a little bit on my eyes, and I don't use any highlight because it does have a natural sheen to it. It has a little bit of, I don't know if you can see that. It has a little bit of shine. I think you can see it better here in the pan, but it's never so much. And I do feel like the bronzer, it's one of those that you can keep adding more and more and more up till you get your desired intensity without it ever looking splotchy. It blends beautifully. I love this. Highlight was the hardest for me. Well, maybe not the hardest. One of the hardest because I love highlight, but I want something that's easy. Something that I could wear both on days where I'm wearing almost no makeup and on days where I'm wearing a lot of makeup. One that can be really icy and glossy and wet looking and also be very, very subtle. And I started going through, no, that one's too gold, that one's too dark, that one's too peach, that one's too, and I realized that the ones that I have loved for so long, it was between two. It was between the Mary Luminizer from the Balm. You remember that from years ago when it was like the first, it wasn't the first, but it was one of the first highlights that I remember everybody loving, everybody talking about, and this formula. This is from Colourpop. This is the Super Shock highlight, and this is the shade Stole the Show. I don't even know if they still make this shade, but it looks kind of white, but then when you blend it, I'm just going to blend it here. It has a gorgeous sheen. There's no glitter, there's no sparkle. There's just a soft shine, but you can build it up to be highly, highly metallic. And this is what I have on today, but I kind of also took it down just a little bit. It was looking a little too glossy and wet, and I had kind of like a really defined eye, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna take it down a little bit. But on days where I'm wearing hardly any makeup, just a little blush, a little concealer, a little bit of this, and some brows, gorgeous. Love this. It works great on light makeup days and on heavy makeup days and everywhere in the middle. And I do like the formula a lot. And I've used this one so much that I have hit some pan here, and it's a favorite. I think this would be the one shade and the one formula I could feel like I could keep and be happy with for a long time. If you're talking brow pencils, I kind of was dithering back and forth between the Anastasia Brow Wiz and this. This is the NYX Micro Brow. I have the shade Ash Brown. And my favorite part about it, it does have a spoolie, a little tiny spoolie on one end, but this tip is so teeny tiny, fine point. And it also is that perfect balance between not being so hard that when you brush through with the spoolie, it kind of brushes away, or being so soft that it starts to smear and chunk up in your brows. Because I do have products that do that, and I have to be careful how I use them. This one is just that perfect balance between hard but not too hard and soft but not too soft. It's like Goldilocks, like the perfect bed. That's what this is. It was just perfect. And there's a wide variety of shades. Ash Brown is perfect for me, and this will be my pick because at half price of what the Anastasia Brow Wiz is, this is such a close dupe. I think that why pay the extra? But when it comes to, this is one thing that I do pay the extra for, and I do think it's worth it. A brow gel. I love this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Brows. Here's the reason. it's this little itty bitty teeny tiny brush. This is the shade Linda. I'd probably, now that my hair is no longer being dyed, kind of a warm auburn shade, and it's growing and it's coming in darker, I would probably move to the next darker shade. But what I love about this tinted brow gel, there are fibers in here. It builds up the bulk of your brows where you have a little bit less. I have a stronger front half, and the last half I need a little bit more bulk, and the fibers in here will do that. So I back comb and then I place them down exactly where I want them. I love this product. I have continued to repurchase this product, and this is one that, even though the shade's a little light for me right now, it still works really well. I'm going to use it till it's gone, but I love, 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 love. And this is probably my third or fourth tube of the shade Linda. So I've repurchased and repurchased and repurchased. And there are other products that are similar to this, but this is the one that I purchased the most and that I probably would keep in my makeup bag if I was limited to one brow pencil, one brow like gel. It would be this one. I only need one mascara. I think you know which one it is. This is limited edition packaging from, I think, 2019. This is the Lancome Monsieur Big. I love this mascara. It's what I'm wearing today, but it gives me perfect, just enough. It gives me length, it gives me volume, it gives me a lot of intense blackness. I think there's a new version of this, but I love this mascara. And I do have another backup in my jar, that pink box. That's another one of these bad boys. I'm never without that mascara. So that's my fave. Now we're down to eyes. And I was thinking, on most days, I'd probably throw a little bronzer in the crease and then something shiny on the lid. And one of the shinies on the lids I would probably do is one of these Super Shock shadows from Colourpop. I have 3 of my favorite shades out, and I like these because these add, at a low cost, a shimmer and a glimmer and a little contrast in the crease, and then a little bit of this over the top would be enough. This one here is Ladybird, this one here is Birthday Girl, and this one here is Birthday Boy. So we've got kind of like a bronzy, a platinum, and a taupey, and they're so pretty and so easy to apply with your finger. That would be all that I need. Shiny and just a little tap, 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 tap with bronzer in the crease. This would be all I need. And there are a lot of days that that's what I do. It's really simple. It's one eyeshadow and a little bronzer. There are days that I don't even use bronzer. I'll just kind of tap this on the lid and smudge it out. Super easy. Now, if I was looking for an actual full palette, the one that I'm wearing today is this. This is the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. I love Sydney Grace's formula, and you get a nice variety in here of shades. You get some cool tones, you get some kind of warmish, neutrally tones. I really love this section here, like these 6 right here. I love, love, love so much. But you can do a variety of looks with this. A really soft neutral eye. You can do something that is bold and has a lot, but it's the formula that I love. I also like that there's a large mirror in here, and when I'm doing, I can do my whole face with this mirror, but this is great. I'm using a combination of these 3 shades here, a little bit of this and a little bit of this kind of in the inner corner, and then some of this lightest shade right under the arch of the brow and in the inner corner as well. So it's easy, super blendable. They're just gorgeous products. Love, love, love. Probably wouldn't put an eyeliner in my kit. I don't really use a lot of eyeliner. If anything, I use eyeliner kind of to tight line my top waterline, just to make my lashes look longer. But since I've been in quarantine, I really haven't been using a lot of eyeliner, and I don't really think I've missed it. So I think I'd be fine without. If I was being really nitpicky, I would put a liner in there just to make sure that they didn't look like there were any gaps in my lashes, and that's what my liner helps with. I don't usually use it on the top, like above the lash line. I usually use it in the waterline on the top and kind of shove it in between the lashes themselves, just to give it a more seamless, longer, darker look right at the lash line. You know I'm a lip person. Lipstick, lip gloss, lip liner, the whole shebang. It's my favorite. This was hard, and there's a lot. For me, there's a lot of different categories of lip products. On the days that I'm not wearing anything but I want a little something on my lips, I'd probably choose a gloss. I have been loving this Wayne Goss lip gloss in the shade Cherry Blossom. It's a really beautiful peachy nude. It's very shiny and gorgeous. I also love so much, and I've had mine for so long, like the packaging is getting kind of a little dinged up, but this is the Fenty Gloss in Fussy. Oh, such a gorgeous kind of soft pink with a little bit of shimmer. This is a cream, meaning that there's no shimmer in it. So it's a cream formula from Goss. I do have another one of his, but I do reach for that one the most. And this one here, there's just a little hint of shimmer in it. It's a little bit more sheer than the Wayne, not quite as pigmented, but Fussy is my fave. Now, if I'm looking for something with a little bit more oomph to it, the M Cosmetics True Gloss, and this is the shade Moroccan Sunset. This one is just gorge. It is shiny. I don't know that it's as shiny. Oh, it's kind of there. It is shiny. They're all quite shiny. I do feel like the Fenty is the shiniest of these, but this is one that I'll put it on my lips. And I love the way that it wears down because it does leave color on your lips, where these guys, when they wear down, they're gone and you can't see anything. But there is some color left from this, and there have been times that I have been known to kind of blend it out, like right up above here. I'll take a little bit off my lips and I'll tap it on my cheeks on like a no makeup day, and so I'll have a little bit of color here, and it's beautiful. Absolutely love the formula of all three of these, and those would be the shades that I would keep. Like just a little bit of color, almost no color with some shine, and then some boom, need me some color. Now, if I'm looking for other kind of low fuss lipsticks, I'd want to have a variety of shades. I definitely keep this. This is the Lipstick Queen Medieval. This is my favorite sheer red. And I do the same trick with this that I do with the True Gloss, is I'll put it on my lips and then I'll tap some on my cheeks. And it makes for a beautiful kind of cohesive, easy look. This is basically like a slightly tinted chapstick. Color, nourishment, vitamin E, it's beautiful. Another favorite that's new to my collection is this one from Goss. This is the deepest of his luxury cream lipsticks. This is the shade Zinnia. I love this. This has basically been my favorite lipstick during quarantine. Since it's come, I've worn it nearly every single day. But, you know, these three here, you can tap here and then spread around. It's great. Now, on the days that I can't be bothered with anything but something comfortable on my lips and some sunglasses as I'm running errands, in the summertime when I don't want my face melting off, I love this. This is the Sephora Melting Lip Click in the shade Caramel. And it's a really pretty, soft, glossy, kind of mauve-y nude. I love this so much. It feels great on the lips. It is hydrating. It's not terribly long lasting, but I'm going more for shine and color, and these guys are my faves. Now, if you need a full-on lipstick, something that's not going to budge, something that's not going to go anywhere, my favorite ones are from Lisa Eldridge and Charlotte Tilbury. So the one that I'm wearing today is this one here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is called JK Magic, and it's a beautiful pinky nude shade. It's a cream formula. It's comfortable, but it does give you like some serious nude lips. It gives you coverage. I love red lipstick, and so I love, you know, like this shade, and this one, even though this one doesn't really look red, that's that medieval shade from Lipstick Queen. But there are times that I need like this is a red lip. And if I need this is a red lip moment, I use this one from Lisa Eldridge. This one is called Velvet Ribbon. And it was one of the first in her series of lipsticks that she released where the lipstick itself actually looks like a piece of velvet. I don't understand how that happens, but it's beautiful. And this shade here is my perfect Snow White cherry red lip. Love, 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 love. Now, on days that I want something that's not red but still just as bold, this is another one of those velvet formulas. This is called Velvet Myth, and it's a little deeper and more berry toned, and I can get more of a deep vampy look with it. So I have a nude, a red, and then because I need more shade. I think I would have probably only one, maybe two lip liners. And the one lip liner that I instantly thought of was this one from Wayne Goss. It's the Essential Lip Liner, and this is the shade Mauve. And I think, with the exception of like these two shades here, this works with everything else. These are the only two, the red and this more cranberry mulberry tone wouldn't work with this as well. But this is my perfect, my lips but a little bit darker, my lips but slightly more intense. It's a beautiful nude but kind of a darker nude for my skin tone. And I love this shade in Mauve. I also love the consistency of the pencil. I do like the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat, but that's a little creamier and it's harder to get to a perfect point than this is. This one, when you sharpen it to a point, it stays there for a while, and you can really do some really perfect finessing to get like the nicest, most perfect line on the edge of your lips. And I find that the older I get, the more volume I'm losing and the more my lip line's a little, you know, here or there and everywhere. But this solves that problem like that. These are the items I would keep in my makeup bag. There is a ton of lip products. There's 10 lip items here. That kind of doesn't surprise me because I am a lip person. But the rest of it, I'm surprised it was as minimal as it is. One bronzer, one concealer, one highlight, one mascara, just like a smaller, and I could see myself repurchasing these exact same items. Lipstick has always been my weakness, but I think that since I've been in quarantine, and there have been so many weeks where I haven't worn makeup, and then days when I decide, you know what, I want to put some makeup on, but then it just seems like a lot of effort. I don't know why it is. It's not more effort than it used to be, but the whole putting on makeup, I only want to wear what I really love. And I realize these are the things that I'm reaching for. These are the shades. These are the things that I continue to reach for and that are making me happy. So I think that if I were to condense my makeup bag down to like an actual bag and not like trays and trays and drawers and just like stuff everywhere falling in on me, I could be happy with a simple brush setup, one makeup sponge, and everything we talked about today. Let me know if you are one of those people that has one bag of makeup and that's it. Or if you, like me, have things to organize your makeup because you have more than the average bear. That's fine. Let me know in the comments down below and tell me what your absolute favorite product is. And if there's an exact shade, let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.